Hello and welcome to Story Time with Mark. Today's story, 3 drivers and a dispatch office. Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers. I'm Mark, your Story Time host, and I want to present this story of 3 drivers and a dispatch office. So, I'm in the Natty. That's what kids call it these days because they don't say full words. That's Cincinnati. I'm at the dispatch area, and I'm going to go in the office to get my paperwork exchanged and all that so I can get the heck out of town. And who pulls up next to me? Mesilla Valley Transport. Now, this is what I believe is a company truck. It's painted the same colors. It looks like one of their company trucks. So that's what I'm going to say it is. 2 dudes pop out of the truck and head in, and they beat me into the dispatch office. Okay, so I follow them in there, and I know I'm 2 meters behind them because why? There's 50 million stickers around, signs, and everything else. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So I'm standing there waiting, and they are talking to the dispatch guy. And he's like, what's your trailer number? Or do you have a pickup number? What's your destination? And they're looking at him and nothing. They're talking to him in Spanish. That's Espanol for people in the know. And so what they seem to have here is a failure to communicate. Well, what eventually happens is first he looks at me. He looks past them to me. And I'm like, and that's sign language for, I don't know what they're saying. So, all right. So then they get out a phone, and I'll tell you this, Mesilla Valley ought to pay a little more. It's like a Galaxy S4 or something, the size of a credit card. Right? So they call somebody and talk to them in Spanish and then give him the phone. All right. This is something you usually see from a single driver that owns 1 truck or whatever. I'm surprised to see it from here. And this is not something I'm reading about in the internet. I'm watching this happen. He talks to whoever's on the phone, gives them the phone back. They talk to him in Spanish. Put the phone in that small pocket in your right jean pocket, in the front pocket. I assume that tiny pocket, I assume that's where they keep that phone. And then they get their paperwork done, and they head out to live a life of joy and tranquility, presumably. I don't know what they're doing. And so then there was a line by then, which was a long line because you got to all space out. And I got my paperwork and left, and I catch up to them. They're going like 1 mile an hour on the parking lot. Why? To scam the log, right? So that it doesn't switch to driving. That is so aggravating. That's an indication you're not being paid enough at your company because you have to try to scam the log to make the money. Okay, I don't like it. It means the company's not paying you properly if you have to do that. Regardless, I passed them. I know where my trailer is because I've been going there for a few weeks now. They would have to go look all around for it, and I beat them out of the place. So that's the story with that. I'm surprised that a company like that would have 2 people that didn't speak English. And believe me, if one of them spoke English, I think they would have spoke up and said something so they could have got out of there. They wouldn't have to make a phone call like that. It's surprising. And I'm sure what they would say at Mesilla Valley, oh, well, we follow all FMCSA regulations, whatever. I don't care. I saw what happened right in front of me. And that is what happened there. Why would a company do this? Well, one reason could be that if you have somebody that doesn't speak the language, they are more likely to be able to be manipulated, right? So they're less likely to speak up, to say anything, because where are they going to go? And Mesilla Valley is located very close to the border. I don't know how they got these drivers. They could be visa drivers. They could just be American citizens that don't speak English. They could have other reasons to be there. That I don't know. We don't know that. I'm not suggesting anything like that they're not here legally. What I'm suggesting is they're not allowed to do the job legally because you are required by the FMCSA to be able to converse in English, right? In English. Not you hand somebody a phone from 1997. That's not conversing in English, okay? It isn't. It isn't. And that kind of thing shouldn't happen. It shouldn't be allowed. But companies flout this kind of stuff all the time, put a big front on or whatever, and it just shouldn't happen. I don't like it. And that is a true story from the road of 3 drivers in a dispatch office. That's what happened to me. That's my story. When do you see this? I usually only see it with one guy pulling an Amazon New Prime floral ink trailer with a Century class or something like that. That's who I see doing it. Not usually from a large company, relatively large, like MVT is. Okay, so thanks for watching my true story and Mark's story time. I appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next Trucking Answers.